this class. In this class, I'll be solving this question on non-collusive oligopoly model. This is question 3. The question says, suppose there are two firms in the market. The market demand function is P equals 100 minus Q, where Q equals Q1 plus Q2. Each of the firms pays a constant marginal cost and average cost of $10. Assuming the firm sell the price simultaneously, so we have to calculate the Bertrand equilibrium output level and also to determine the profit of both firms. So how do we do that? Even if we are not told to calculate the Bertrand equilibrium level, from the statement here that the firms sell the price simultaneously, we know that it's only in the Bertrand model that firms sell the price simultaneously. The Bertrand equilibrium, the market behaves like a perfect computation. In other words, the equilibrium is determined by the equality of price, okay, and MC. And don't forget, this is the condition for perfect market to be in equilibrium. This is the equilibrium condition for perfect market, and this is what we are going to use. Okay, each of the firms is going to use the condition to determine the equilibrium level of output. Likewise, the market is going to use the same condition to determine the equilibrium level of output. What we are going to do is that to find the equilibrium in the market and share the output among the firms. So let's do. Don't forget, this is the condition we are going to use. A. Okay. So you remember that for Bertrand, I'll just say Bertrand equilibrium condition, simply P equals MC. Okay. So where is our P? So you are going to take this total, this is Q total, the total output in the market. So P is equal to 100 minus Q. Then what is our MC? Our MC is 10. Then we collect the like terms. So we have 100 equals 100 minus 10 equals Q. Then we have 90 equals Q, which is Q equals 90. Meaning that total output in the market is 90. So, how do we know the output of each of the firms? So, the output of each of the firms, that's Q1, will be equal to Q2, which is 90 divided by 2, because there are two firms in the market. If there are two firms in the market, we are going to divide by 3. 4 in the market, we are going to divide by 4. So, in other words, the answer is 45 units. Okay? Each firm in the market, okay, has the output of 45 units given Bertrand equilibrium condition. Okay, so now we are also asked to determine the profit. How to determine the profit? Don't forget, generally the profit, we are going to determine the profit in the market because they produce the same unit of output, so they are also going to make the same level of profit. Okay, now the profit in the market is, don't forget, generally it's equal to TR minus TC. Okay, TR minus TC. I have two ways. There are two ways of finding the profit of each of the firms. It's either I find the profit, the total profit in the market, and divide by 2 so that we know the profit that goes to each of the firms, or I calculate the profit of each of the firms directly by simply applying this approach, that is the profit of firm 1 equals P minus ATC multiplied by the output of firm 1. Okay. If I do that, let me apply this. I apply the price. So we need to determine the price first. What is the price? We determine the price by substituting this Q into the price function. Don't forget, the price is equal to 100 minus Q. Then the answer will be 100 minus 90, which is equal to 10. The price is 10 US dollar. Okay? The price is equal to marginal cost. So we don't necessarily need to even go through this. Okay? We know the marginal cost is 10 US dollars. So the price is equal to MC, which is equal to 10 US dollars. Okay, you can see by substituting Q into the price, the demand function, we are going to get the same answer, which is 10 US dollars. Therefore, you have 10 minus 10 divided by the output of firm 1, which is, so this is equal to 0, and for firm 2, product of firm 2, so we have P minus ATC, then multiplied by Q2, this is 10 minus 10, multiplied by 45, which is always equal to 0. And this confirms that this is Bertrand equilibrium. Because the Bertrand equilibrium, okay, firms compete with price because they choose the price simultaneously, they sell the price simultaneously, and none of the firms in the market is going to make profit. Thank you. Don't forget to share this video